The sound of laughter was sharp, cutting through the cafeteria like a blade. Plates clattered, trays scraped, and voices rose in a steady hum of chatter, but all of it seemed to fade for her in that one humiliating moment. Maya sat at the corner table, the same place she sat every day. She was the kind of girl most students overlooked, not because she was invisible, but because she was easy to ignore. Small, quiet, and always clutching her books too tightly, Maya had learned how to shrink herself so the world wouldn't notice. But bullies, they always noticed. Today it was Ethan and his friends, the loudest boys in school. They swaggered past her table, smirks tugging at their lips, and in one swift motion, Ethan snatched Maya's lunch tray right from under her nose. Her sandwich, the one her mother had carefully wrapped, toppled onto the floor. Her apple rolled under another table. The cafeteria erupted in laughter as Ethan held the tray high like a trophy. "What's this?" he jeered. "Mystery meat deluxe," his friends cackled. Maya's heart pounded. She wanted to say something, anything, but her throat closed up. The humiliation burned hotter than tears. She felt the stares of dozens of students, some laughing, some pitying, but none willing to step in. She stared down at her empty hands, wishing she could vanish. Then something shifted. A chair scraped loudly against the floor. The noise cut through the laughter like a thunderclap. Every head turned. At the far end of the cafeteria, a tall figure stood up. It was Liam, captain of the basketball team, the kind of student whose presence carried weight. He wasn't just popular, he was respected. And right now, his eyes were locked on Ethan. "Give it back." The cafeteria stilled. You could almost hear the air thicken with tension. Ethan forced a laugh, trying to mask the sudden flicker of unease. "Relax, man, it's just a joke." Liam didn't smile. "Do I look like I'm laughing?" For a long, uncomfortable moment, no one spoke. The laughter had evaporated. Even the teachers stationed near the exit had paused, sensing something bigger than the usual cafeteria drama. Maya stared, wide-eyed, at the boy standing up for her, a boy she had never even spoken to. Ethan's smirk faltered. He dropped the tray back onto Maya's table with a clatter, food still half spilled, but intact enough to show surrender. Then he muttered something under his breath and slouched away, his friends trailing behind, suddenly less bold without the safety of the crowd's approval. Silence. The entire cafeteria remained frozen. And then, slowly, conversations began again, but softer this time. People glanced at Maya, then at Liam, as though they had just witnessed something they weren't sure how to process. Liam walked over. He crouched beside her table, picked up the apple that had rolled away, dusted it off with his sleeve, and placed it gently in front of her. "You okay?" Maya blinked, unsure how to respond. Words caught in her throat, so she just nodded. "Good," Liam said with a small smile. "Don't let them make you feel small. They're not bigger than you think they are." With that, he returned to his table, leaving Maya with a heart that suddenly felt too big for her chest. That day became a turning point, though not just for Maya. The silence in the cafeteria wasn't just about one boy standing up for a girl. It was about everyone realizing how often they'd looked away, how often they'd let cruelty slip by as jokes. The strange hush had been guilt, recognition, and a shift in the air. Students who once ignored her began to offer quiet smiles in the hallway. A teacher checked in after class. Even some of the kids who laughed looked ashamed when they met her eyes. But most importantly, Maya changed. She realized that silence wasn't always protection. Sometimes silence was permission, and she had been giving her bullies too much of it. It wasn't easy, but the next time someone tried to make a joke at her expense, she spoke, her voice shaky but firm, and to her surprise, the world didn't collapse. Instead, people listened. Weeks later, Maya joined the school's creative writing club. There, she discovered not just her voice, but her power to shape stories, to turn pain into words that resonated. And slowly, she made friends who valued her not because someone popular defended her, but because she was worth knowing all along. Looking back, Maya realized something powerful. It wasn't the silence that mattered that day in the cafeteria. It was what broke it. One act of courage, one refusal to accept cruelty as normal, changed everything. And the message lingered like a whisper across the school. Sometimes all it takes is one person to stand up, and the silence that follows can echo louder than laughter ever could.